all know the far left are super liberal people with an aversion to labels who ultimately just want to sit down and talk through their views and outlooks with those who disagree with them, in the hope of achieving a healthy balance, uniting the human race, and creating a forum where society's problems can be addressed in a constructive manner. Now I've got that blatant lie out of the way, here's NeonFiona to shit all over everything the left used to stand for.
Alright. Let's do this.
Fuck's sake, Fiona! Whatever happened to decent intros, eh? I work hard on mine, the least you could do is make a fucking effort.
Hey guys, so, in case you don't know, I am a feminist.
Fuck me, that must be like telling your parents you're straight. It's just a disappointment.
Others on the internet have branded me as a social justice warrior, which I think is just really stupid, because SJW is just like, it's a tainted term now.
Yes, Fiona, that's kind of the whole point. It's an insult, not a badge of honour. Read the room, woman.
And also, I don't think that fighting for social justice is a bad thing.
And the mob that chased down Edward Scissorhands were sure they were doing the right thing too. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, as they say. Of course, you have to believe in hell for that to be effective, but no need to believe it when you're currently living it, eh?
I care about things like racism and LGBT issues and politics.
Yep, and so do anti-feminists. So knowing about this common ground between us, please go on to tell us why you demonise those on the other side of your political views.
And that right there is honestly enough to make a large group of people just stop talking to me and pigeonhole me as some crazy woman who's never had any life experience and isn't educated on any topic and is therefore not worth listening to.
Woo! Okay, a lot to go on there. So, pigeonholing. Your side does that, calling anyone who disagrees with you an alt-right misogynistic Nazi. Life experience, that's a fair cop, actually. I mean, I won't get lectured on social politics from a 12-year-old or a 90-year-old, as they get their news either from social media or the BBC, but there are exceptions to the rule. Education, I've lost count the amount of times I've been told by a libtard to educate myself on a certain subject, and people who no longer talk to you. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but isn't the title of your video Why I'll Never Get Along with Anti-Feminists? People in glass houses shouldn't throw wads of sticky brown shit, Fiona.
But that's not what I'm here to talk about. The echo chamber of the anti-SJW community can wait for another video.
Oh, echo chambers, fuck off! I wait through so much SJW bollocks to make my videos, I am constantly listening to your bullshit rhetoric. We all are! Fuck the glass houses saying I should have gone with people in echo chambers shouldn't yell insults. Oh, that was apt. That was very apt. Copyright Drunken Uncle 2017.
Instead, I'm going to talk about why I won't ever get along with the online community of anti-SJWs, anti-feminists, conservatives, whatever it may be.
Well, then you're a narrow-minded fuck-up who won't listen to anyone else's opinion. Go to your echo chamber. Actually, at this point, it's more of a wind tunnel.
Not all of them, of course, just the very prominent and vocal ones on YouTube.
I'm vocal. I'm vocalising right now. Oh no, does this mean we'll never be friends? Ah, there goes my real-life goal of befriending someone who has a mental disability.
And that isn't to say that I'll never agree with any opinion that these people might have.
No, of course not. You just won't allow it because you won't listen to them. You're not ignorant. No, you're just arrogant.
I'm sure that I agree with anti-SJWs and conservatives on certain topics because people and movements aren't black and white.
Actually, people are black and white, so...
But, as a massive generalisation, here is why I will never get along with these groups of people.
You lost me at massive generalisation. I mean, if you substituted anti-SJWs for, I don't know, Jews, you'd be in the shit, wouldn't you? I guess some groups are safer to attack than others, especially the Jews. They don't do shit all to retaliate. And why do you look like you're blowing on a ghost dick right now? It's not natural. It's supernatural.
1. I truthfully don't care enough to question somebody's identity, and I think it's pretty shitty if you do.
So asking someone their pronouns is a shitty thing to do. Fuck, I'm learning a lot here. Keep going, Fiona.
If somebody comes up to me and is like, hi, I'm bi, pan, lesbian, gay, trans, whatever it may be, I just accept it.
Whereas I respond more along the lines of, why are you telling me this? None of this affects me in the slightest. I don't care. Actually, I lie, because if someone says hi and then states their sexuality, I know they're gonna be fuck annoying. Fuck that person. Give me someone who doesn't base their entire character on whether or not they like to suck dick any day.
Because I truthfully just don't have that much time or energy to put into other people's lives that I don't know. And even if a friend did come up to me and I'd known her and she'd been dating dudes for a year and she's like, hey, I'm a lesbian, I'd be like, cool.
So is my boyfriend. Oh, fuck you, Riley. Fucking estrogen taking motherfucker. Everyone else apologised, and maybe I was wrong about your transitioning, but I'm not sorry. You're still shit.
Great. I wouldn't be bothered enough to question it, and I certainly wouldn't be bothered enough to make, like, an entire campaign to, like, prove that they're not really a lesbian.
Oh, shit, you are talking about Riley. Well, Fiona, he invited a lot of the crap he got himself. So yeah, still not sorry. His video about transition stated he didn't prove he was taking the hormones because it's none of our fucking business. Which means him even stating he was trans or lesbian or whatever in the first place must have been for views, because why else would you mention something in a YouTube video if it's not anyone else's business? And I mean, fuck me, it worked, didn't it? The white YouTuber had to work with 3/4 of the shitlord community to get half as many subscribers. I've only got about 1/4 of Riley's subs, and behind this avatar, I'm actually a black disabled gay woman.
I wouldn't go out of my way to try and prove that they're faking it, convince everyone that they're lying, because one, the chances of them faking it are actually statistically very, very slim.
Not if you're talking about YouTube or the internet in general, and fuck, I'm not complaining. Shit like that gets me views. On one occasion, it literally paid my rent.
Like, yeah, you can definitely argue that online it's quite cool or whatever to be queer, but the thing about saying things online is that they go into the real world.
Well, maybe you should tell that to the people who are lying about themselves to get views.
And in the real world, it still isn't cool to be queer.
Are you fucking... Whenever a celebrity or a politician or a fucking rugby player comes out as gay, the media hail them as heroes. The lowest rung on the ladder of society is currently occupied by straight white men. If it's not cool to be queer, then being straight is nothing short of fucking heresy.
Also, if they turn out to not really be a lesbian and they're just experimenting and trying new things out, good for them. Good for them.
Yeah, but they're not lesbians, are they? So sure, good for them, even if they are fucking liars.
Try things out. Get to know yourself. You do you, boo.
You do you, boo. I've never said this before. Fuck, I've never actually experienced this before, but you are far too white to say that, Fiona. There's not even any lights on her right now. She just glows on her own. The doctors thought her mum might have been bitten by a radioactive spider while she was pregnant. That's why this girl gestures so much, trying to shoot some webbing.
And finally, I'm just not a dickhead.
Citation needed.
And I don't think it's cool to see someone come out or live their lives as their true selves and question that and try and make people believe that they're not really that thing.
But if they really are that thing, what does it matter? Like when the Mayan calendar said the world would end on the 21st of December 2012 and we found ourselves still existing beyond the 22nd. Were you like, oh come on guys, just give them a chance? It either is or it isn't, Fiona. You either are or you aren't. The whole thing is, dare I say it, binary.
It's just really pathetic and unkind.
Pathetic and unkind?
Pathetic and unkind. 2.
Oh, fuck, there's more. I forgot about that, and I was happy.
I don't think that our change is done. A lot of conservatives will say that the left are just making things up and trying to cause drama for the sake of it, but like,
shut the fuck up if you're gonna pause, because I've got something to say. I'm not conservative, and I still think you're full of shit.
We're really not. There's still a lot of shit to do, and just because women can get jobs and black people are no longer enslaved...
What? When did this happen? Why was I not informed? Saying that, no more slaves, yet women can work. I think we've just found our new slaves.
Doesn't mean that all of our work is done. Men are facing sky-high suicide rates because expressing emotions is unmanly.
That's not why men are killing... Do you honestly isn't killing yourself the most emotional thing you can do? That's why Romeo Montague was such a fucking puss. And wouldn't you say men losing their kids in divorce court could be a more legitimate reason? I mean, there's a group called Fathers for Justice who dress up as superheroes and climb shit to protest losing their kids. It's not very effective, obviously, but saying the rates of male suicide are so high because expressing emotion is considered unmanly is the most ignorant thing I have ever heard. I know the far left will use anything to push their agenda, but seriously, Fiona, and I hope you're watching this, fuck you!
Black people are being targeted by police at alarming rates.
Yeah, because of all the crimes. Every time an unarmed black guy is shot down, it's not just the police that should take a look at their actions, but the armed black guys too. I mean, none of this came out of nowhere, did it?
Queer kids are being kicked out of home left, right and centre.
Yeah, mainly left. Straight kids get kicked out too, you know, but if it's not for being gay, then what does Fiona give a fuck?
And women are being told that they deserve what they got when they said they've been raped because their clothing choices were revealed. world.
Oh, for fuck's sake, this has to be a bigger fucking myth than Bigfoot. You know, in prison, even the other inmates shun rapists. No one is defending it, except Islam. They love a bit of rape. But there is a difference in saying it's your fault, and you could have lowered the odds by not wandering the streets at 4 AM in nothing but a belt. Self-preservation, Fiona.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, and that's just in the West. Other parts of the world have it way worse.
Well, I'm glad you've touched on that and will hopefully realise that, damn, the West is pretty fucking good. Maybe instead of making minor and regressive changes here, you could fuck off to Korea and sort some shit out there. Go on, Fiona. North Korea, specifically.
The fight isn't nearly done, but a lot of conservatives feel that any attempt at change is an attack on their way of life and their traditional values.
You could continue to make massive generalizations, or you could actually listen to what people are saying, Fiona. Many people would rather humans advance than be pulled sideways, and that is what you're dealing with. It's not defending values, but resistance to being pulled in the wrong direction and attributing worth to worthless things like sexuality and gender. That's not how shit gets done. Sexuality doesn't design bridges and gender doesn't build spaceships. Fucking grow up and contribute.
They seem to think that the world is falling apart because a trans girl wants to use a bathroom and someone put a trigger warning before a film.
Ah, bathrooms opens the doors for perverts, which I believe is the chief concern, and trigger warnings are for PTSD, not for being a fucking snowflake.
But I see these as steps forward because I don't want to regress. I don't want to live in a world where fear and hatred are primary motivators for things.
Well, they're both major motivators in advances in technology, so get the fuck off this planet, I guess. I hear Mars has an uninhabitable atmosphere. You start there. If you survive North Korea, that is.
And that all the work to do with social justice is done because our world is perfect.
No, of course not, but half of it's pretty good. Of course we have libtards and feminists, but it'll clear up, kinda like acne. That's what you are, just spots on the face of humanity. Little pores that got too full of themselves.
Spoiler, our world isn't perfect.
Yeah, I just said that. And it's me who's in the echo chamber. Fuck you know.
And number 3, I like good debate and discussion and conversation.
As long as there's people who agree with you, or disagree, but only slightly. Because when you're wrong, the whole world has to change until you're right.
Now, I've never done a video response to somebody, but you can bet your bottom dollar that any political or social justice or topical video that I've done has been heavily inspired by content that I disagree with.
Yeah, that's the same for, 98% of my videos. Let's say most. Most is better. So nothing to be proud of there, Fiona. Anyone can do it, even me.
But the crucial difference is, I like to argue points. I like to argue with facts.
Oh yeah, me too, when I get offered any. Otherwise, I'll just take the piss out of their ghost-like appearance as they over-gesticulate themselves into obscurity. That's you, Fiona. I'm talking about you.
I don't like to debate by talking about someone's appearance or what they'd be like in bed or attacking someone's character.
When it comes to debate, anti-SJWs on the whole offer up a carefully prepared homemade meal full of vitamins and nutrients. Something you can really bite into, you know? Whereas SJWs offer up a plate of junk food that we've all heard before and are quite frankly sick of consuming. The wage gap argument, for instance, has been debunked so many times that whenever you bring it up, it's treated as a fucking joke. It's like having nothing but chips for every meal, and taking the piss out of you or your appearance is the equivalent of having some mayonnaise to dip it in for a bit of flavour. That's your fault.
To me, that just completely ruins your argument. If you need to rely on someone's skin colour or gender identity or how fuckable you think they are,
zero? No, I'd give you a go. I'm very inclusive like that.
Then your argument just truly is weak. And I know why they all do it. It's entertainment and it's just a joke and it's getting you clicks. You're profiting from harassment.
No, I'm profiting from your weak argument. I've never spoken to you, Fiona. And given you won't ever get along with me, as per your video, I never will. You put yourself on a platform and that makes you fair game. The same for me. So it's not harassment, just your standard response to getting owned so much.
I enjoy making decent original content that is made entirely by me and well-researched points, but if you can only make content by completely taking someone else's video—
Not true, I cut out the bullshit at the end.
And then adding your own voice over it, like, so be it. I just like making good stuff.
Let me know when that happens, Fiona. Until then, you're just food for my channel.
Anyway, those are my main issues and why I won't ever get along with the anti-SJW community.
And you've also listed many a reason why you're a dribbling retard, Fiona, but that's cool. I think you'll find yourself much more unapproachable than anyone who disagrees with you. I mean, I was watching a live stream of Bob's Burgers the other day, and it kicked off in the chat regarding the wage gap and LGBT rights. It subsided after a while, but I know some of those people have recently subscribed to me, despite holding the opposite views, because we were still friendly in our discourse and they are open to having their views challenged, the same as me. No one is 100% right, Fiona, but no, it's us who are in the echo chamber. Thanks for watching, guys. Please consider becoming a patron to send Fiona to Mars. The link is in the description, and remember, the right isn't right, but the left isn't either.